bars in a raid. Man, I go hard like Santan.
What it do? Another episode of Touchline Hotspur. I know it's an international break, but we don't stop. We won't stop. We have the NSO in well, we've got the front three. The front three here. Hopefully we're ready for some attacking quality that we haven't seen from a certain player who wears number 10. But anyway, Yao, well, go on, brother. What you saying?
I'm good. I ain't even watched a lot of international football. Actually, tell a lie, I watched the Nations League final, which was fantastic, by the way. Aside from that, I'm good. Back to obviously doing what I need to do at work, and I believe that obviously football's returning, so I'm going to be back to being annoyed and depressed by a particular club that I support. That's where I'm at.
Everything's set up, man. Everything's set up. Tobes, what you saying, man? Hardest working man in podcast showbiz.
Bro, tired, man. Work's punching me up, and then this content creating thing now is just long, man. It's long, but I'm here, man. I'm here. We're here to speak Spurs, and the Premier League is back. We're all delighted by that. Well, I think when we don't have to watch our team, yeah, we're delighted by that. When we have to watch our team, then yeah, it's a problem.
It's political.
Yeah. Premier League is back this weekend. We will be previewing the Newcastle game. I think that's still their name. They haven't changed their name yet, have they? To Saudi East or Saudi North. I don't know what.
Saudi Tyneside.
Yeah, something like that.
Fog on the time, bruv.
Shake on the time. So international break. Because of how far our team has fallen, there's not actually that many Spurs players that really are doing bits. Obviously, we've got the South American contingent, which we'll touch on in a bit. But Yao, you mentioned about the Nations League.
Yes.
Obviously, Hugo Lloris. For many a season, there's talk about, we need to get a replacement. He should be on his way out. We should be getting rid of him. And at the same time, he's winning World Cups and the odd European competition here and there. What's your thoughts on Hugo? What do you think of his performances? How much longer does he have at the club?
This is interesting.
Hugo can retire at the club. You see, this is the difference between
what, as in like tomorrow or
no, in general. He can retire whenever he chooses at the club. Like there's two sides to Hugo. All right, most people might not know it, but us as Spurs fans, we know it. We know sober Hugo, which we saw in the Nations League final. You know what I'm saying? Delivers, makes big saves and all that kind of stuff. That's sober Hugo. And we also know wavid, Hugo. We know that one where man's obviously hit the vodka way too early in the game, and we're just seeing the repercussions of it through the 90 minutes. But in terms of Hugo's career or Spurs tenure, he's probably one of the players that could actually hold their heads up high. Honestly, like seriously, like I would have said the same about Jan Vertonghen, but he's left now. So Hugo's probably one of the very few players I don't have a massive gripe against. When people say we need to replace him, I'm like, yeah and no. It's more of a case of we need a good, young enough keeper that we can bring in and cut. What we did with Hugo underneath Brad Friedel, the exact same thing. That's what we need. That's it.
So you're looking at the replacement plan.
Yeah. So this whole thing of like, we didn't get rid of Brad Friedel. We said, no, Friedel, you're number one. But Hugo's really number one. Yeah. So you need to work that one in slowly. Yeah. Because obviously we got Galina. My man's a rapper, bruv. I ain't got time for that, you. I ain't got time for that, you, bruv. Go do your drill, bruv. You know what I mean? I ain't got time for none of that nonsense. So, I ain't got time for that. So, it would have been fantastic. It would have been un-Spurs-like to have got Donnarumma. It would have been, because he was free. It would have been, you couldn't even make a better, literally transfer than getting Donnarumma and having Hugo in the same team. It would have been fantastic for us. Obviously, it didn't happen. We got Galini. And I'm not really impressed by him. I don't really, And the young French keeper that went to AC Milan, I'd have taken him as well.
That was my shout. That's the one. I
I'd
thought
have taken him as well.
Donnarumma is arrogant enough to not want to come to Spurs, even if
because he knows where he wants to be in life. We don't know where we want to be next week, so
Yeah. Tobes, I'm gonna let you jump in on the Hugo conversation. What's your thoughts? How many years does he have left with us? Galini, are you convinced to step in?
Sorry, my internet. Is that my internet or is that Dave? Sorry. My internet was working out there.
But you're fine.
Yeah, so with Hugo, I love Lloris. I've always defended Lloris amongst any Spurs chat. I will always defend Lloris. Even when he's playing poorly, I will. Any of my friends, they know I'm a Lloris defender. Yeah, because for the most part, in fact, for his entire time at Spurs, barring a few months like Yao indicated where he does go crazy, he has these spells where he will go like on a run of like 3-4 games where it's bad. It's bad. It's real bad. And then I remember there was the season we played at Wembley. That was probably his worst season in the Spurs shirt for me. The season we played at Wembley, he made some really, really odd and baffling mistakes, like crazy mistakes. But he is a bona fide Spurs like cult hero, man. Like he's undoubtedly, by a country mile, our best goalkeeper we've ever had in the Premier League. Like,
it's not even close.
By a country mile.
Yeah.
By a country mile. So for me, I feel like our fan base have almost they're almost used to Lloris. Like they're used to Lloris. They're used to the fact that we got him from Lyon when we really had no right getting him for the price that we got him at as well. His stock was so high. We had no business getting a keeper of his caliber, and he stayed at this club for over 10 years. And the disrespect that he gets from some of our fan base is quite frankly, it's disgusting. Like he's allowed his rough patches. Yes, we can criticize when he's playing poorly, but bigger picture, this guy is a Spurs stalwart. Yeah, he's one of the very few players that we can depend on. And unfortunately, opposition fans they'll choose to look at the 4 or 5 games he's played badly to the 80% of the season where he's been excellent. Yeah. I remember when he broke his arm against Brighton, it was horrible, like terrible, shocking mistake, terrible game. We lost the game 3-0. Yeah, for a couple months, people were pamming him. Lloris came back, and for that period, from January to about the end of the season that year, he was one of our best players. He was quality. But because we were losing games, because he's Lloris, no one wanted to talk about it. The season before that, when we were in the Champions League, in our run-up to the final, he was easily like top 3, top 4 players in the team. Yeah. And kept us in these ties. No one wants to speak about it. They won't speak about it. Saving Aubameyang's penalty that was crucial to us eventually getting Champions League qualification. They won't speak about these things. They'll speak about his mistakes, and it's sad. It's sad. I get it. Agendas have to run, but sometimes you give a man his respect. And with Lloris, I will always give him respect. I also agree with Yao. I think the perfect play would have been to bring in a young goalkeeper who is good enough to oust Lloris in the long term. I don't see him as a direct issue now. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't think Lloris is so bad now. I don't even think he's bad at all. I don't see the goalkeeping issue. I don't see our first choice goalkeeper as an issue. What my issue is not being proactive and waiting until it becomes an issue, because Lloris is what, 34 years old now? I don't know. So it's going to happen. It's just nature. You can't fight nature. Lloris is going to get worse. And a smart club, a shrewd club, would look at his age, look at what he's done for the club now, keep him on and get the new guy in and start blooding in the new guy. So it's a seamless transition. Yeah. We don't want to be in a position in 3-4 years' time when we're slating one of our best ever players and we don't have no one to come in for him. Galini, I have nothing against him, but I think he's basic. And I think he gets beaten too easily with shots from range. When we signed him, I said, this guy, If this guy was so good, why are Atalanta letting him go with an option to buy for 15 million? How good can you be when we've just bought a player, premium player from there for around 50 odd million? Well, when we eventually pay it. The disparity is you get what I'm saying? You get what you paid for. And the fact that we're paying this.
How much was the loan?
I don't know I can't remember how much we paid for the loan, but yeah. I don't know. It's just
We need to cancel that. Bro, I'm not doing this whole loaning. Cancel the heck out of this, please.
cancel. But yeah, Lloris. I love Lloris. I love Lloris. It annoys me at times, but I love him.
Yeah, it seems like you guys defend him better than Sanchez does. I'm completely honest. But it's interesting to see him. Funny enough, Yao, I thought about you when I was watching Nations League, because your good friend Koundé, with his hairstyles, he was playing, and there was one time he got ripped, and I just thought, oh my gosh, if Yao is watching this. For those of you who don't know, Yao and Koundé had a running beef through the summer. It was one-sided. But there was many comments about hairstyles and indecision, and we saw that on the pitch in that game. So from one side of the team to the other side of the team, I'm not going to lie, yeah? I even allowed this next player I'm going to mention, I allowed him his moment. He did what he did in the summer. He's come back. I thought, he didn't have a pre-season. He's tired. But Harry Kane stinks, guys.
He fucking.
I just have to say it.
Hey, you fucking. So wait. Yeah, wait a minute, because I've been going at this guy. Yeah, I've been going at him like 50 went after Ja Rule. Yeah, I've been attacking this guy, and he's been defended. So are you all finally seeing what I've been cussing about? Finally,
what I'm seeing.
We've been seeing it all season though, and we've been to be fair, we've been calling that all season. But
you're being nice. You're calling. It was kind of like, man, he ain't really pressing. Now you're saying,
no. He's been shit. He's been dog shit.
Okay.
He's been dog shit.
Okay. Look, I think most people know what Harry Kane's name is right now. It's the Mukaf. Yeah. If you want to be precise. Yeah, that muck of a guy. Look, I don't want to say that he's in decline, because if you say that and then he goes and bags a hat trick, you're not going to hear the end of it. Yeah, so I don't want to say he's in decline. But what I will say is that Father Time has paid him a visit, because he can't do certain things he was doing at 25. It's just a fact of nature. Yeah, the older your body gets, the more you have to be capable of using your brain in certain situations. Now, I've always questioned Kane's footballing IQ. Always. From the get-go. Doesn't mean that he's not a good player. I've just questioned the level of his footballing IQ. It could be good, it could be decent, it could be high. But I've always questioned the level of his footballing IQ. And when I've watched him in the bad games, not the good games, not the games where people are like, oh, he got a hat-trick. Not those games. The bad games. The thing that stands out for me the worst is, and the pundits say one thing, us fans see another thing. So the pundits will be like, oh, Kane's good at holding up the ball. Well, that's a lie. Because he faced a makeshift Liverpool team in the Champions League final and couldn't bully nobody. Couldn't bully not a single person in the back line. He couldn't bully them. So he wasn't even... No, it's true. He wasn't able to hold up the ball on that day. And I don't want to hear that, oh, he was injured, yeah? Because he'd been out. No, he'd been out of injury for at least 2 weeks. The injury didn't linger into his first touch. Come on, It didn't linger into a chest control.
I'm all for bashing. I'm all for bashing when he's playing poorly, but come on, we can't.
No. It's not even the bashing. It's not even the bashing of him playing.
There was no business. He had no business even stepping foot on that.
We know he had no business in stepping on that field. We know that, yeah. But when you're on the field, if something's not going right for you one way, you have to figure out the picture. And one of the biggest problems I've had with Kane is if something is not going his way, he can never give you a plan B. Never. this is even in the good games. In the good games, you're like, oh yeah, cool. That came off. All right, boom, boom, boom. Then look at it when things ain't coming together. And I've heard people say, oh, he needs certain players around him to make things work. Okay, fine. I hear you. I am listening. Yeah. Well, in the English international setup, that is the best of the best of the best in this country. And yet, Kane can still give you the same stinking performance he gives Spurs. And Spurs, mind you, is a far worse team than England. And I don't support England. So me saying that listen, Latvia would give Spurs a run for their money. That's how much Spurs have dropped, yeah? That the Latvia national team could possibly give Spurs a real headache. You know why I think that? Because Paco Rabanne gave us a freaking headache only 2 months ago. So I don't dispute that the Latvian nation team could actually give us a problem. Where I find it to be an issue with the muckuf of this guy, yeah, is fine. You can't press the ball. That's fine. You're struggling to hold up the ball. That is also fine. You're better at dropping deep and linking up play. That's good. But give us other options. And if you cannot do that, my friend, understand that your stocks have gone straight down. Make your way to the bench and warm up that seat, because I don't want to see it on the pitch.
Tobes, I want to bring you in here.
Yeah,
in the sense that I understand Yao will always have this sentiment until Harry Kane scores in a big game. This is going to be Yao. You know, anyone that's listening.
It's not changing. It's not changing. I'm not changing it. Yeah, I'm not changing it.
This has literally been him from the day we first spoke.
I'm not changing it. Yeah, I want deliverance. I've had people tell me Kane was better than Benzema. Slap yourself. Slap yourself.
He was outperforming. There were points where he was better than Benzema.
He was just a wing. That's all it was. He was just a
wing. No. Let's not do this. Let's not do this. There were points. Let's not do this. There were points. There were points in the last 3 to 5 years where Harry Kane has clearly been a better striker than Benzema, and he still is a better goal scorer. He still is a better goal scorer. He is.
Listen,
he scored more goals.
I would say he is a better goal.
He is. I don't think he's a better player technically, but he's a better goal scorer.
Has he been found out? Tobes, has he been found out? Has the Premier League caught up with him?
I don't think so. No, I think he's just playing bad. Like we said, with him, he's been shit. And the thing is, it's annoying because we speak about this every week, but we have to, because nothing has changed. And whereas we thought we would see respite, I didn't even watch any of the England matches. I didn't even watch any of the England games. But I'm hearing that he was poor in both matches. I'm hearing he was poor. So
who were England opponents?
So I don't know. I can't even remember.
Andorra and Hungary. He didn't play in the Andorra game, I don't think.
Yeah, sorry, Hungary. Sorry, yeah.
He played against Hungary.
Yeah.
So like, and I'm hearing that he stunk out the joint again. I get it. England stink out the joint, and he had a couple shit games at the Euros as well before he actually came to the party. But my thing is, you can't. Still, I'm not gonna do this. Let's not do this because man. Let's not do this. He banged.
Tell me which party. Which party did he come to?
In the Euros. What do you mean?
Yeah, which party? Which party? Name the team that he came up against. Which party was it?
Germany, Denmark. Germany, Denmark, and Ukraine.
What? It was Ukraine and Denmark, not the Germany game. Yeah, because
Germany was. No, but he scored though. He was terrible, but he scored, bro. But that's my point.
That's my point. You can't be terrible, score, and then we consider that as you turned up. He didn't turn up.
I didn't say he turned up. I said he came to the party. He's a goal scorer, bro. I literally just said he was terrible in that Germany game. He was terrible, but he scored. He's a striker.
You're lucky.
He scored. My point is this, listen, I get why Yao is saying all of this, but me personally, I do think Kane has more in his locker. He's shown it. He is not a one that I think if there's one thing you can say about Harry Kane. It's the fact that he is not one-dimensional. He has multiple ways of hurting the team, which is why it is so easily distinguishable when he's not playing well. Because his game is not all about goals. To the point where we've just spoken about Germany now. He scored, but we're still saying he was terrible because we know what a good Harry Kane performance is like. We know, we've become accustomed to it over the last 6 years. We know what he's capable of doing, which is why all of this shit is annoying. It stinks. And he needs to pattern up and he needs to get back to his best level. I agree with y'all. I'm not going to say the D word yet, decline. I think it's too late.
I don't think
I'm sorry. I think it's too early for all of that talk, because are people now going to say, oh, what, his finishing's declined? His heading's declined? His hold-up plays declined? No, he's playing poorly. But one thing that is clear is this: Harry Kane is not, ever since the pile-up injuries, he's not the same player he was at 22, 23 years old. He can't press from the front like he used to for Pochettino, and that's fine. That's fine. But like Yao said, he's reinvented himself, and he needs to channel what he does best in our team, this new version of himself, and get back to the levels. Stop dropping so deep that you're near our box. Stop being lazy when you're trying to hold up the ball. Pattern up, bro. Because he's gone up against bigger defenders and he's held his own, he's held up the ball, he's brought others into play, and he's offered himself as a goal threat. Don't remove yourself so much from the play just to try and play make, that when you've made the pass, you're so far away from the goal that you're not even going to be able to get into the box to finish off the move.
The thing is, and to add on to that, my biggest gripe is, injuries aside, you're going to have to change up your game anyway, depending on what the injury is. So he's had multiple ankle injuries. So his running style, his passing style, his shooting style, all are going to change because of these ankle injuries. So yes, he's a great striker of the ball, left foot, right foot, doesn't really matter. He's a great passer of the ball, left foot, right foot, doesn't really matter. Cool. But his space awareness frightens me. And what I mean by that is, before any injuries, you know that whatever you have in your head is going to communicate to your legs fast enough, because everything's working at prime speed. After a number of injuries, that same process is not the same. So you have to kind of adjust for that kind of like defect in your game. Ronaldo had to do it, and I'm talking about R9. Many players across the stratosphere of football have had to do this. I find when Kane gets the ball, he's still reacting as if to say he hasn't had these injuries, which is fine. That's all great and stuff. But what Toby's saying is very true. If you're going to drop this deep, somehow, some way, you have to then go back up to impact the play. He can't do that. So don't drop that deep.
You know what? You say that.
He needs to pick his moments.
Yeah. In the England game, I'll give him credit. In the England game, he was dropping deep, doing all that kind of stuff. But he was also there ready to finish off moves if the ball got to him. You know, a lot of the time the ball was getting, intercepted, whatever. He was in the box ready for it. And I think with Kane, as we've seen before, when he goes through his August droughts, his September droughts, all it needs is one goal. And I think we'll see, he'll go on one of those Heung-min Son purple patches, one of those 5-in-3 type patches where it's just like, kind of forget that stuff. I don't think he's declined. Like I said, he does stink at the moment. But I think he's definitely got so much more to give us, even if it's just for one more season. And it'll be interesting to see how we come back out of this international break, because the last international break, whoa. So I'm just going to touch on a few other players. So Reguilon was out there. Brian Heel, I saw a bit of him. He looked nice in a very nice young emerging Spain team. They look like they're going to be dangerous in the years to come. Højbjerg obviously went out with Denmark. They qualified for the World Cup. I think they're unbeaten in their qualifying run. So good shout out to him, our Danish warrior. There are other players playing, but like Ben Davies, who wants to talk about him really? Heung-min Son probably travelled twice around the world.
Twice as well.
He scored twice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Because he's probably been our most consistent player all season, and we saw what he did in the last game against Aston Villa, where he literally put the team on his back and said, we are getting these 3 points. So respect to him. And then we hit the South American contingent, and I want to just stop on this for a moment. There's still a bit of discussion about what's going to happen with this lot. They played like 3 games in 10 days. The rumor is, I think the latest I've seen is that they're arriving on Friday, staying in Spurs Lodge, and then they're going to probably travel up to Newcastle to play on the Sunday, or to be available for selection on the Sunday. So that's looking at Emerson Royale, our right back, Romero, centre back, Sanchez is another centre back, Giovani Lo Celso. I've got an assist of 4 of them, I think. Tobes, out of those 4, with 24 hours in the tank in England, which one do you pick?
Romero in a heartbeat. Romero in a heartbeat. He's our best centre back. He needs to be playing every game, and I even want Emerson to be playing every game now. Like, Tanganga has done a job for us there, but Tanganga's not a right back. The long-term plan is to move Tanganga back into centre back. He's only done a job for us there, and done a good job at times out of convenience because we've got no one else there. So, but for me, out of all those players, Romero, he's the one I want playing, especially when Callum Wilson's back as well. He's the one I want playing, 100%.
Yeah, I saw that. Callum Wilson's back in training conveniently once the money starts rolling.
Annoying.
My man is ready. It's one of the things, isn't it? Newcastle always have those random performances against us where, like, a striker like Joe Linton gets half his Premier League goals against Spurs. He's only scored about 4. Yao, are you in agreement? Romero, is he a shoe-in? Emerson Royale, is he shoe-in? Does Lo Celso get another 1 out of 10? We've been seeing all these comps being put out about Lo Celso. What do you reckon? Does he make it into your team?
No, our team's not great. So Romero definitely, because he's our best centre back. It's not even a question. Emerson, right back. Emerson needs the games anyway to kind of like build up his understanding of the Premier League and the tempo of the Premier League. So he needs games, and I think he's one of those kind of guys that would, I hope, should I say, get better with games under his belts. Romero, I'm not so worried about. I've seen enough of him to be like, yeah, he's definitely our best centre back. But my fear is that Romero is going to be paired up with the fool that's diabolical. I mean, like, why would you do that? So he's going to pair him up with that. That's going to annoy the living hell out of me. But Sanchez is just as wild, so it doesn't really help.
I think Romero and Eric Dyer is probably the most reliable out of all the combinations you can throw up.
Which is saying a lot. Which is saying a lot in a very bad way.
Yeah, but for the majority of the Premier League games, which you're not going up against the top 6 every week, I would hope that Romero and Dyer will be able to do a job. And definitely look like in the last game that they seem to get a bit more understanding, definitely a bit more of a relationship, a synergy, and that's what we've lacked. Romero's been in and out of the lineup so much because of whatever Nuno's doing. I don't know what Nuno's thinking.
Nuno needs to be sacked. I ain't got time for this. I'm not one to look. Sack him. Yeah, sack him. Get rid of him. Yeah, because I ain't got time for it. Yeah, sack him. No, I'm done. I said it on the last pod. I couldn't care what Nuno does with this team. Yeah, he could win everything. He won't. He could win everything. I will still want my gone. I'm not interested in his project whatsoever. But yes, you're right. Romero and Dyer do obviously need more games. Dyer is absolutely horrible, and the goal that we conceded against Aston Villa, I wholeheartedly blame him for, because that's stupid. You don't need to let the ball roll across you any way, shape, or form. Clear it first. Ask questions later. With Lo Celso,
yeah, I want you guys to touch, because I know we spoke about it in the WhatsApp group, but the people deserve to hear our thoughts on Giovani Lo Celso. So the combinations are now up and circulating. People saying, "Oh, look, he plays so well for Argentina," and they're spamming him 2 assists. If the ball even comes past his nose, giving it to him.
Ridiculous.
Tobes, Lo Celso, are you convinced?
No, I'm not. He's a fraud until proven otherwise. He's a fraud. Lo Celso, they gave him 2 assists. I've watched the highlights of that game. Argentina played well. Lo Celso looked like he had a decent game, but those 2 assists, fugazi as hell. Fugazi as hell. The first one, Messi scored from like a cross-come shot, and the second one was Di Maria's assist. The fuck did Lo Celso have to do with that goal? What did he do? What did he do? What did he do for that goal? Apart from almost nudge the ball. Like, it's just ridiculous. But anyway, Lo Celso, for me, I think he's got to show Nuno and show our fan base that he's worthy of being a regular starter in our team. He doesn't have the underball quality that Ndom has. No matter how poor Ndombele plays, we know that he can still create something better than Lo Celso. We know he can do this. But the problem is Ndombele is too inconsistent, so you can't really hang your hat on him over the course of the season. But I'm still picking him over Lo Celso every day of the week because I know what he's capable of doing when in possession in comparison to Lo Celso. Lo Celso has to win us back. He has to win us over again. He has to. He has to, because people can say, oh, he's not had a run in the team, but he had a run in the team in the restart. Remember the restart under Jose? He had a run in the team, and he was terrible, with the exception of, 2 matches. He was terrible. Terrible. The only thing that stopped him from getting a run in the team as well is injuries too. Injuries and bad form. And then last season, Jose chucked him a couple games here and there. And then when Brian came in, he started him pretty much every game, like 6 or 7 games straight. And he was still shit. So I'm here asking myself the same question that I've asked for months now. When was the last time Lo Celso actually played well in the league? He came on, he did decent against Aston Villa, missed the big chance, of course. But when was the last time you can actually walk away from a game and say, rah, Lo Celso, you were really good today in the Premier League? Not against bums in the Conference League that didn't even exist 10 years ago. Not scrubs in the Europa League last year when he's plundering 2-3 goals. I'm talking Premier League matches. When was the last time we've been able to say that, Lo Celso? I can't remember.
Nah, he's definitely a 65, 70-minute guy coming on when the game slows down. It opens up a bit. Things, teams are chasing it. And I think this segues into the next point. Let's think about it. Like has been said multiple times, and I'm gonna start with you on this one. We've got players that play for the club. Okay, they're not all good. Some of them need to be shipped out.
Dele Alli.
Yeah, I don't know if Owen is watching, but Harry Winks is one of them. Sorry, my brother.
Don't apologize. Don't apologize.
No, he's under the weather today, so got to be nice. I think. I'll let Yao take shots, but no. In the sense of our best formation. What do you think our best formation is? Because we moved to a was it 4-2-3-1 in the last game?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
4-2-3-1. Do you reckon that's the way forward? Is that what you see, or 4-3-3, or is it a wing back situation?
Yeah, I think. Go on. Yeah, you can go.
You can't go wing backs because the wing backs defensively are not good enough. Or should I say the left and right back that we have are not good, but they're not good enough defensively. And what I mean by that is there's not a defensive attribute that they have that would help them on the defensive end. So when we had Rose and Walker, although they may not have been good defensively, what they had was athleticism in abundance. So it was hard to get past them with speed, and it was hard to get past them with strength because they could, pretty much body up against any other winger in the league. Not saying that they were good defensively, but they were able to at least.
No, they were good. Rose and Danny Rose and Walker.
I'm talking about on their just pure defensive. Like I don't.
Yeah, they were good. Walker was a bit clumsy at times, but for the most part, they were stiff.
I would say overall they were good. They were far better fullbacks than what we have right now. That's where my line.
Yeah, that's a given. They're better than what we have now. Yeah.
So the problem with that being said is that it rules out any fullback offensive press because we'll just be left with our centre backs. We can't cope like that. Can't play a 4-3-3 because we haven't got a DM that's incredible enough to deal with that kind of pressure, and we haven't got a box-to-box midfielder whose ball retention is on par with Ndombele. Like Ndombele is not box-to-box, so can't do a 4-3-3 because there's just too much space. So we went to a 4-2-3-1. In theory, that's probably our best formation because it covers the defensive side of the game, and we should have enough attacking players to cause a problem higher up the pitch. The problem is the 3 and the 1 have to do a lot of pressing and good pressing in order for us to retain the ball. We don't do that. So if I'm going on, all right, cool, you know what? This is what we're weak at, but this is what I think could bring us the most amount of goals, and we should be able to hold out enough. I would go for 3 at the back, 3 centre backs, 4-2-1, which I believe is similar to Poch's second or third season formation, the season that Chelsea won the league.
Third
season. Yeah, something similar to that. So I'd go 3 centre backs, cover that. I'd probably have Skip or Winks, not Winks, sorry, not that stinky you. Skip or Højbjerg in the middle, and give them instructions that when need be, you may need to drop to help with the centre back so that it spreads across, making a 4. I don't know who I'll put out wide, honestly, because our team, we don't really have a squad of players where you can be like, yeah, cool. Because if you put Romero at the right wing or right side and you put Reguilon on the left side, you've got like a 5. And I don't really want a 5. Do you get what I mean? I want a 3-4-2-1. I want it to be that from the defense going up. I want it to be, if you leave these guys on the ball, we're gonna hurt you. If you put Reguilon left, Emerson right, you almost become defensive again. We can't defend, so it doesn't work. So I would go, yes, 3 centre backs, 4 across the midfield. Not again, I couldn't tell you who the 4 across the midfield would be. 2, which would be Son. I'm not gonna lie to you, yeah. It's between Lucas and Brian Hill for me, because
there's only one winner in that for me personally.
Yeah, so and then it'll
Brian,
yeah, it'll be Kane up top, and then I would say to, so if I was being a madman, for instance, yeah, I'd have Son. This is me being mad because I'm thinking what would be our best lineup. I'll go Romero. Oh, good shout! I just saw it in the comment section. I'll use that. Romero, Sanchez, Dyer. That's our best 3 centre backs. Yeah, so they'll go at the back. I'll probably go left side. I'll go left side, Brian Hill. Yeah. I'll go Højbjerg, Skip, middle. I'll go right side, Bergwijn. I'll go, yeah. I'm going mad. So figure it out. Do you get what I'm saying? This is very attacking. Yeah, this is very attacking. I'll go Son, Ndombele free roll, by the way. Yeah. Son, Kane. And the job
is the maddest.
the job of Hill and Bergwijn, yeah, is to keep their fullbacks back. Like even if it means coming back to our halfway line quickly to pick up the ball and drive at them, just keep them back. And then the role of Højbjerg and Skip are to in between the two of them to facilitate the defenders if need be. We've got 3 centre backs.
Okay, the obvious problem with that, none of our centre backs like going out into the deep water, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Eric Dyer out into the left side channel or whatever. He's got to cover then we got problems. Tobes,
Put that in the middle, innit?
Tobes, I want to hear your thoughts on our best formation, and actually, not just our best formation, but which players do you feel like we need to have benefiting the most from this formation?
Which one? Yao's formation or the 4-2-3-1?
4-2-3. Let's start with 4-2-3-1 because obviously I think that's where we're going to go. I don't see.
That's probably our formation.
First and foremost, before we do, I want the 4-3-3 to work because I think the 4-3-3 gets the best out of our best midfielder in Ndombele. I think it gives him a free role and it puts an anchor in midfield, and then it puts Højbjerg in a position to do what he does best, which is seek, destroy, and then distribute. Yeah. Unfortunately, like Yao said, I don't think we have a good enough anchor in Skip. I like Skip. I think he's a decent, good lad. Not a good player, but I think he's a good lad. Do you get what I'm saying? I think he's an okay player, and I think he can improve and get better. But if we're asking him to be the anchor of our team, he's not good. He's not at the level to play consistently for us in terms of where we want to be. He's not a top 4 level anchor. He's not really a top 6 level anchor right now. And in all honesty, I feel a bit sorry for him because he is now basically indispensable because we've got no other. It's crazy. I was the one saying Skip. There's no way Skip can be indispensable. What does that say about our squad? But it tells you everything you need to know because we've got no one else who can sit, and he's the only one who can sit and do an okay job. So I think the 4-3-3 it should work, but it doesn't. It doesn't. But neither does the 4-2-3-1. I know we won the other day, but like the fact of the matter is our midfield is just poor. If I was Nuno, I would still try and experiment between both formations. I would, but because we want to, for the sake of continuity and trying to keep a winning thing, stick with a 4-2-3-1 for now, innit? Højbjerg and Skip, that's as good as it's going to get for our base. I really like Højbjerg. I think he's a good player. I've said what I wanted to say on Skip. I think those two sit in, and then maybe Højbjerg, the one a bit more adventurous of the two, allows Ndombele, gives him the freedom to pick up good positions in between the lines and try and help us in the final third. My only issue with the 4-2-3-1 when we play Ndom in the 10 is he's removed from the build-up. Our build-up is not good enough to begin with, even with Ndom there, because he's in, as you've spoken about, his inconsistency. But when we remove him from the build-up completely, it's a bit of an uphill struggle watching us move that ball about, especially when Lloris gives it to the centre-back and it's just, oh, God. People are struggling to beat the press and people are struggling to pass vertically apart from Højbjerg. So stick with a 4-2-3-1 for now. Yao's point on a 3 at the back, why not? Why not? For a team who can't really defend and need a solid base and want to be weapons in transition, maybe it could work. But my issue with that is I need to see more from the wing backs offensively. Forget defense. In fact, don't forget, because defending we need them to defend. And Reggie's been shocking defensively in 2021. Emerson looks like he can defend based on what we've seen in the past 2 games. But listen, he got cooked by Zaha. So I guess the verdict is he still needs to prove himself, but he's looking much better. My issue with them is going forward. Reguilon, I don't know what's happened to him attacking wise, but he's nowhere near as impactful as he showed himself to be in these first few months at Spurs. And Emerson, I don't get it. I feel like he seems composed on the ball, but he seems a bit timid right now to attack. He's aggressive when it comes to his defensive actions, winning headers, getting close to his man. But when we get to the final third, you don't really want to take players on. You don't really want to put crosses into the box. So I need to see that bravery in his attacking play and in Reguilon's again. So that would be my only concern with playing the wing backs, because we're essentially playing wing backs who can't really offer us the width and attacking prowess that we need. So yes, 4-2-3-1 for now, but I'm not bidding the 4-3-3 just yet.
We don't have the personnel to. It's shocking because at one point under Poch, we had enough personnel for multiple formation changes during and before a game. We don't have that now. So we go to a 4-3-3, and somebody in that team is a complete letdown, or multiple players. Yeah. We go to a 4-2-3-1, and essentially a 4-2-3-1 is a 4-5-1. You know, it's actually a 4-3-3 if you really want to be extremely technical. Yeah, like it can easily convert to a 4-3-3, can easily convert to a 4-5-1. It can also easily convert to a 3-5-2. The problem with this is that the players that we have seem to be based to one particular formation and are not really good at switching formations during or before games. So, yeah, you're right. We're probably going to have to end up with the 4-2-3-1 and let that ride for the rest of the season.
Yeah. My only concern with the 4-2-3-1 is, like we said, you know, getting the ball to Ndombele. He's too far removed. We don't move the ball quick enough. That's my one thing. It just frustrates me. It just gets stuck in the mud. And the thing is with us, right, is whether we've got Reguilon, Davies, number 2, whether we've got, you know, the fullback position, it's like if we don't have any ideas, we literally just go wide. But then we go wide to fullbacks who want to cut back in and hit back to the centre backs. And then it's like, okay, Romero, Sanchez, do a long ball, see if Son can win something against their fullback, and then maybe we pounce on the spill, and then Ndombele is involved. So the pattern of play that it looked like Nuno was trying to bring in the preseason has completely disappeared. Fool's gold. It was fool's gold in that respect. And It'll be interesting to see what he sticks with for this weekend. And I'm going to segue into that, a Newcastle preview. Probably got about 10 minutes or so left. So as we all know, it's been mentioned on any pod and every pod that you ever listened to about football in the past 10 days. Newcastle are now under new ownership. 320 billions worth of new ownership is rolling into Tyneside. Before we go into the preview, I just want to make a public appeal to Jeff Bezos. If you're watching this, we are ready, my friend. Come on down. Okay? We are ready. Okay? But anyway, the Saudis have taken over Tyneside. We always talk about a new manager bounce. We always talk about the Spurs curse. If there's ever a time, if you ever want to break a run, play Spurs. If you're on a bad run, you ain't scored at home all season, play Spurs. If you ain't won a game all season, play Spurs. We're going into a firestorm this weekend, my friend. And I want everyone to be ready for this. Though I still have a little bit of confidence somehow, some way. Newcastle, with their fans buzzing, right? Their fans are always good up there. Fans buzzing, players playing for their deals and for their space post-January. What do you expect from this game?
A loss. A big loss.
See, yeah, all week I've been saying we're not going to win. But yeah, when people have asked me for predictions the past 2 times, I've gone for a 2-1 win to Spurs to edge it. I don't know what in me is telling me that we can get a result here. On paper we should, but you know it doesn't work on paper. And literally, it's got all the ingredients to have a spanner in the works for Spurs. It's after the international break. Newcastle have been taken over. They haven't won a single game all season. Steve Bruce under massive pressure. It's going to be a packed stadium. Their fans are going to be noisy, loud, boisterous. And then with the whole South American thing as well, it's got all the ingredients for a Spurs fuck up. And we've been in this situation before too many times at Spurs to expect anything positive, which is why I'm saying to myself, how stupid can you be? You know what's going to... My head is telling me Spurs are not going to win this game because we know what happens when we come up against this type of adversity. We don't win. But one more thing. Son, do you remember that from Jackie Chan, Cartoon Network? Do you remember Uncle? Yeah. Anyway, so one more thing I want to say. I'm hoping that Harry Kane can break his fucking duck this weekend. One. And second of all, Son being available for this game is a game changer. We didn't have him in this game last season and we struggled. And that was with Harry Kane dispatching 2 really good goals. And we still should have lost that game to Newcastle. This time round, they could just finish off the job and beat us. But I'm hopeful that with 2 players who can win a game of football, no matter how badly we play, that's what I'm clinging on to. And I'm hoping and praying we get 3 points. I don't really believe we're going to get 3 points, but I'm going to say it anyway. I want to manifest and pray that we get it. Let me be positive for once.
Yeah, I want to put you in a enviable position probably. It's 10 minutes to go before you lead the team out. You're the manager of Spurs. What do you say to the lads in the change room before that game, before we go out to a packed St. James's Park? I think that's what it's still called. They haven't changed the name yet, have they? No sponsors.
St. James.
Yeah, what are you saying to the lads? How do you get them going for this game?
I'm going to say to them straight up, this game, I'm not going to lie to you guys, you lose or you perform badly, you can walk on because you ain't getting on that team bus. And I'll send them out. And there'll be none of this whole, all the taxis. Nah. Because what they won't realize is at halftime, when they come back in, their phones, their bags, none of that will be there. It will just be them in their kit. I'll make it very aware to these guys at the beginning of the game. The only way you're getting on this coach and getting home safely is with a win. That's it. I don't want to hear no, boss. If we don't leave St. James's Park with a W, do not speak to me. You are walking home because there's no way Harry Kane is going to freaking Newcastle train station, whatever the train station is called, say, yeah, look, I ain't got no money on me. None of that. Bounce, bruv. You're walking home. With that being said, we're losing on Sunday. Yeah. And we're losing. Yeah. We're getting tucked in. Listen, I may wear
What's your score prediction?
3-0, bruv. We're getting based. Hear what I'm saying? Bruv, you can throw your head back. Bruv, we've held 3-0 defeats to Crystal Palace, Chelsea, and Arsenal. Back to back. Actually, no, we scored against Arsenal, but that don't really count because we just held 3. Yeah. You need to understand the last time I saw or experienced this level of whooping consistently, yeah, was late, and I'm talking late 90s, when we were on the verge of when we were talking about we need to beat Wimbledon to avoid possible relegation fight. That's how far back I'm like, I haven't seen whoopings like this in 20 years. So I don't trust that. Furthermore, Newcastle's one of our bogey teams. There's been many a time we've gone up to Newcastle on form, got pammed. There's been many a times Newcastle have been on form, come to us, we've been down on form, still got pammed. There's been many times where it's a nothing game. We've rolled into there. People are like, yeah, Spurs have got too much quality. They're going to win. Held 5-1. So, bruv, them man have just had a billionaire take over their club.
Multi-billionaire.
Bruv, they already know peas are getting spent. Yeah, I don't think you understand. Let me drop the picture for you. Yeah. Peng Ting's obviously come to the rave, all of this stuff. Yeah. She's come to the rave and she's like, boom, I'm here now, innit? Where the ball is at. You know, man in Spurs shirt is there. Yeah, babes. Man will buy you a vodka and coke, little £3 thing. Then out of nowhere, Sheikh Abdul is in the background with the Alan Shearer at the top, and he's like, hey babes, I'll buy you the whole club. That's what we've just experienced. Yeah. Them whole Newcastle fans have just experienced, yeah. Hey babes, I'll buy you the whole club. You think money is not going to be spent? Money is going to be spent. The time is going to be rocking. The entire stadium is going to be. If we concede, listen to this. If we concede after the week Newcastle have had. Oh my God. Bruv, you might as well switch off your TV. You might as well switch off your TV because the noise is going to be mad. If the first shot on target against us, everybody up north is going to be, oh, we're going to hear it. We're in London. We're going to hear it from Tyneside. So no, I don't think we're going to win. But let me say this now. If we do win, oh, the crud I'm going to be giving to man online. There's no way you should be letting us win. Everything's up for Newcastle right now. The best thing that could happen to the league right now is that Newcastle lose on Sunday. They lose the next 10. They freaking sack whoever they sack. They get in a new manager. They switch everything around quickly. Yeah, like they get a new manager in, new coach team, start buying people in January, and they get relegated. That's the best thing that could happen to the Premier League. Yeah, but it won't happen. What will happen is Spurs will turn up on Sunday. We will look horrible for the first 10 minutes. We'll have a patch of like 10 minutes where we will look good, and we will lose. Yeah, and if we win, we win. But my prediction is, we're gonna lose 3-0. Amen.
Boy, 3-0 to Newcastle, you know. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. I think it's one of them games we have to score early. And asking them,
we have, bro. Nah, Dave, I don't think you understand.
No, but what I'm saying,
early doesn't change the game.
Yeah, no, at least you give yourself a chance to quiet the team. But the thing is, Nuno doesn't score early. Nuno's teams, we don't score.
He barely scores in the first half.
That's what I'm saying. So even thinking that we're going to be able to score and play well enough to maintain it, I've said it before, I think a couple of weeks ago when I was on the pod, we're a part-time team. We can't sustain a good performance for 45 minutes, 60 minutes, 75 minutes. So it's going to be interesting because we need these points, really. You know, after this, we've got West Ham away. This is going to be tricky because we know they're riding high, and they like playing against us now, you know. And then we got Man United.
Oh my God!
So we can't afford to go on that 3-0 run, the 3-3 in 3, you know, that we went on a few weeks ago when we had, you know, Palace, Chelsea, and Arsenal all just peppering our goal and making Hugo look waved or wabbed, as you said. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Who. What's your starting lineup? Let's just go with 4-2-3-1. Are you playing in Ndombele? Are you putting in Ndombele in that 10? That's what I'm interested in. Who's your attacking three behind Kane?
It will definitely it's gonna be Son and Ndombele. If it was an ideal world for me, Hill.
Yeah.
Right. Ndombele, he just has to be given a free role. I just don't understand. I'm not a coach, but I don't understand how coaches can't see this. Just give the guy a free role, bruv. Tell everybody else you're doing the doggies. Like, why can freaking Gary Neville and Paul Scholes come out on TV and say, yeah, we had to do the work for Ronaldo? They got it. They understood it. Ronaldo was their guy. So they understood they had to do the doggies for him. Why can't other teams, Spurs in particular, understand that you just need to do the doggies for Ndombele? He's got the quality to turn the game on its head. Yeah. And it makes us look stupid because we say, Ndombele has to play. He goes and has a stinker. We look like we don't know what we're talking about. So yeah, it'd be Son. I think Hill needs to start coming into the team and getting a run in. It's probably not going to be him. It's probably going to be Lucas, which is going to... I'm not actually mad at Lucas, but to be honest with you, he just runs down a cul-de-sac, so it doesn't really help.
Again, I think we're in that position now where, you know, if Brian comes in and does a good enough job, we bring Lucas on off the bench. You know,
100%.
He's effective in that role, and we know what he's got. You know, he's going to give 100%. He's going to run, even if it isn't to cul-de-sacs and blind alleys and whatnot with his head down. We know he's going to do that, but we know he's going to put in more effort than we've seen with Dreadlock Deli and some of the other players in the team. So
listen, Dele Alli doesn't like his own father, and until he says sorry to his dad, that juju ain't coming off anytime soon, bruv. He needs to apologize and return his name to Dele. Yeah, this nonsense that he's got on the back of his shirt, his dad does not appreciate it one bit. Yeah, apologize now. African dads do not take this kindly. Yeah, Delhi, you stupid boy, you should have never come out and said, "I'm changing my name because of this reason." Ever since that day, yeah, his dad said, "Yeah, you want to disrespect my seed? Fine." He went to the bush. He spoke to two men. And we all know what happened after that. Yeah, now Dele Alli thinks he's Jamaican. Big man, stop it, bro. It's nonsense. I don't want to see Dele Alli again, by the way. I'm happy for him to be sent to the under-23s and sold in January. I'm very happy for that. In fact, if Newcastle even come in and say,
that's what I was going to say. You know what?
Take him.
Listen, if any of the Saudis are watching this stream, if you've got any cousins that need buy a football club, send them over. And if you want to buy Dele Alli for 50 million, please do that. So guys, it's been good. It's been fiery. It's been heated. Hopefully, Sir Harold Kane can come up with a good this weekend. We need a goal. We need a goal.
Some of us still believe. Some of us still believe in him, like me and Dave.
Yeah. I think he's actually going to score this weekend. And you know, it's weird. He's played absolutely horrendous in the Prem, and every week going into the game, I think, okay, this is the week. So
let me say something nice about him. Let me say something nice about him before I say that. Listen, I've called you the Mook. I've called you Mookov. Yeah, it's quite disrespectful. But truth be told, you've been to 4 finals and you haven't turned up. So that's why I call you the Mook. But I need you to turn up this Sunday. I just needed to. For the sake of humanity, I need you to turn up. Because if you don't, I promise you, from this day forward, there will never be a day I have anything positive to say about you. Make damn sure you turn up on Sunday in any capacity. I don't care if it's a 90th minute scrappy one. Just make sure you are there. Because if you are not, Chale, my foot is going to be on your neck for the rest of this season.
I love the fact that Yao thinks that his foot is not already on the guy's neck. Right, guys, it's been a pleasure on this Thursday night. Whenever you listen to this, guys, make sure you click like, subscribe, tell your cousin, tell your auntie, tell your uncle. The Spurs man them are talking them talks. Some good football IQ's been dropped on here, including a mad 3-4-2-1 formation, which you've never heard of before. But anyway, we move. Hopefully we get the job done against Newcastle. But until next time, Tobes, Yao, myself, we're signing out. NSO, baby.